Every Monday, we start off our week, and again, we just love this, courtesy of our friends at Kuby Renewable Energy. You can get your free solar quote today at kubyenergy.ca. Stories, some that we've dug up, some that have been submitted by you, and stories that have either restored or reminded us, for the reason of our faith in humanity, it's Positive Reflections. And this one submitted by Martin also that Nostra, our good friend on Twitter that's always pumping the show's tires, Nostra passed this one along as well. So I guess this is a multiple submission entry for Positive Reflections. Have you heard the story of Alexandros Hurtakakis? This kid is a survivor. Rocking his Superman t-shirt there. The little fella diagnosed, just an absolutely devastating one when he's just a little guy, less than a year old. Brain cancer, right? And so his parents, with Alexandros now 5 years old, have been navigating this emotional minefield for years. This kid fighting and fighting and fighting. But the tough news is that the treatments that have kept him alive for the past 4 years have been failing. And doctors have been telling his parents that despite this little boy's will to survive, he may only have a few weeks left. His parents, Nick and Kira, out of Hamilton, Ontario, have been doing everything they can to make his remaining time as meaningful as possible. And so they've been asking him if there's anything he still wanted to experience. His response, immediately, Halloween. He said he wanted to see monsters. When he was just a little guy, his parents took him to a haunted house in Niagara Falls. But doctors have cautioned the family against travel. So that's when the Hurtakakis family friends came up with a plan. They're going to bring Halloween to him. And so I have chills when I'm reading this. Just a couple of weeks ago, dozens and dozens and dozens of people showed up to the Hurtakakis home. They said this is a heartbreaking situation. And so they asked for volunteers to make a spooktacular night for Alexandros, to dress up and walk down the street for him, to decorate their cars, to drive through a parade past the house. Well, complete strangers showed up. As a matter of fact, more than 500 people responded, putting up fake spider webs, carving pumpkins, putting them on the street. And on September 14th, this little boy watched in awe as a swarm of strangers, many of them with their pets as well, paraded through the streets dressed in spooky costumes, zombies, witches, monsters, skeletons, inflatable decorations, even his favorite, Paw Patrol. Just incredible, said his parents. Face paint for other kids that were visiting. There were nurses there from a local hospice, specialists in end-of-life care. They said, we're feeling every emotion you can imagine. His mom says, tears of joy, tears of sadness, tears of hope, the sense of community, how these strangers showed up for our son. Humbling and heartbreaking to see this community come together. And while this story may not have a totally happy ending, we're still holding out hope. The fact of the matter is, strangers care about this little guy. Maybe this story will influence you to do something in your community today, to reach out to somebody that you know, or maybe somebody that you don't, to realize that little extra bit of effort, that empathy, that compassion can fuel someone in their arduous journey. This week, we celebrate Alexandros Hurtakakis and the hundreds of people who made his September. You can send us your positive reflection to talk@ryanjesperson.com. You can hit us up on Twitter with it as well. Of course, as always, it's presented by our friends at Kuby Renewable Energy. You can get your free solar quote today at kubyenergy.ca.